Welcome everyone to the Childhood and Education Department, otherwise known as the CACHE Department. I'm going to talk you through the presentation today. The presentation will last approximately 30 minutes and the aim is to give you an idea of why you should choose this course. If you've got any questions, you can type them in the chat box and the questions are anonymous. Okay, let's go. So why study CACHE? CACHE is a highly regarded course amongst universities. Universities love this course because students come in with lots of practice, which we'll talk about in a moment. They come in with lots of knowledge about the curriculum, how to support children with additional needs. They learn about, students learn about literacy, numeracy and theory, so international perspectives. You can achieve a licence to practice at the end of the course, so you actually finish the course with a certificate which enables you to work as a teaching assistant or a nursery nurse in a setting, so you don't necessarily have to go straight into higher education. You can go into employment, which many of our students do. It gives you an excellent grounding in early years to prepare you for working with children. You'll have lots of knowledge by the end of it. There are varied lessons and activities due to the variety of units taught and placement practice activities too. We also really pride ourselves on developing students' self-confidence and self-esteem, and by the end of it, they're enabled to develop relationships with their peers and professionals with ease and confidence. So I think that's a really important part of the course. Placement. So lots of students ask about placement. It's a significant element of the course, and over the 2 years you'll need to complete at least 750 hours. It sounds like a lot, and it is actually a lot. You tend to do 2 days a week. There are some block placements, so within that you might do a week before Christmas, you might do a week over Easter, but we talk to you about that at the time and we look at how your hours are going. There are 4 blocks of placement, so just to talk through, there's one from October half term to February half term, and from February half term to July, and the same in year 13. So there are actually 4 blocks of different age groups that you can work with. The expectations of the age of the children you work with are 0 to 5, and you will go into a range of settings, and you've got the option to specialise in your last block. So if you wanted to specifically work with children with special educational needs, you can go on and do that. Or you can go back to a placement that you particularly enjoyed, or even go above the 0 to 5 age range. So it's really, really interesting actually to see where our students choose to go on their last block placement. We don't mind if you prefer to choose your own placement, but we're also happily support you to identify and or make contact with a placement as well. So some students come to us and say, we've got a placement ready, is it okay? So then we'll do a risk assessment with the placement and you're all good to go. Some students will say, I've identified this placement, I feel a bit nervous about ringing, so that's fine, we'll do that with you as well. And some students haven't even identified a placement, that's fine as well, because we'll look at where you live and we'll find placements near to where you live. We like you to go near to where you live because it's more convenient for you in the winter when it's cold and it's windy and rainy, and you're more likely to go, which is great. Okay, types of assessment. The majority of your assessment will be coursework, and so we'll look through the units in a moment on another slide, but that's something that's ongoing. So you'll have assessments in terms of what tasks you're asked to do and then what assignments you're asked to hand in. You're supported through all of those. You have a CCE and a DCE. There's 1 per year, and they are 20-hour externally marked assignments. So you have 20 hours over the duration of 2 weeks. We'll set the timetable for you. It's generally 2.5 hours a day, and you come in and you'll be asked a question and then you just write up your assignments over the 20 hours. It sounds a bit scary, but it isn't, and we'll fully support you to prepare for it, and we help you carry out your assessment too. You're also assessed in the workplace. So our assessor will come out and observe you. That also sounds a bit scary, but it really isn't. The more you do, the easier it becomes. Okay, the general entry requirements onto the course are 2 GCSEs at grade 6 or above and 3 further GCSEs at grade 4 or above, including a 4 in GCSE English and Maths. If you want to go on to teaching, then GCSE Science is required. So what do our students go on to do? They go on to employment as a nursery nurse or teaching assistant, but primarily they go on to primary teaching. So that's the course that's most popular. We help you to fill in your application for that, for any kind of course that you go on to do at university, that's supported through our academic coaching, but I can also help you with your personal statements as well, which sometimes happens. Some of our previous students have also gone on to study social work, midwifery, child psychology and youth justice. You similarly have the option to use your UCAS points to go on to other unrelated childcare unrelated courses. We've had some students go on to history, accountancy, and we've even got a student this year going on to an apprenticeship in mechanics. And so really your UCAS points are as valid, and it's okay if you change your mind, but predominantly our students do go on to primary teaching.